All right, you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your time tonight. There's going to be three of us chatting with you and just giving you a little bit of info on what is coaching and kind of how we got started and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go first. My name is Bridget Hammond, and I've been a coach since July of 2014. So it'll be 2 years this summer. I'm going to bring up my screen here because we have a little presentation so you can get a little bit of visuals. I just wanted you all to see our faces. So I'm Bridget Hammond. I'll be your first speaker. We have two Jessicas that are going to present. So I'm going to let them wave in case you can't see their face while they're talking. So right now waving is Jess Kennedy, and she is another presenter. She's been a coach. Is it 4 years, Jess, for you? 4 years. Jess Vigeland is our other Jess speaking. She's waving right now. And how many years have you been coaching? 3. All right. So we are kind of like 2, 3, and 4 years. So we kind of all have our own little different experience. All right. So I'm going to just get my screen up here really quick and start you guys off. All right. Let that come on in. All right, Backstage Pass. So what is coaching? So I'm going to start you off with my story. Like I said, became a coach in July of 2014. And why did I become a coach? First of all, I worked in corporate America for 12 years. And when I had our oldest son, I have 2 kids. They're 6 and 4. I have 2 boys. When I had my oldest son, I knew in my heart I didn't want to return to corporate America. Just kind of, at the time it wasn't a healthy environment for me. And I taught fitness classes on the side. I was a body pump instructor and a kickboxing instructor, and I taught over the lunch hour downtown Minneapolis. And that's actually where my passion really lied. And I just thought, gosh, how can I do this full time? I barely make any money teaching fitness classes. If you're a fitness instructor, you don't do it for the money. You do it because you love it. And the money that you make is probably enough to maybe cover your shoes and your music. And that's about it, right? So fitness was really my passion. And, my husband and I talked right after I had our firstborn, and I just was like, I just can't return. I can't leave this little baby. I didn't know that I wanted to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. I didn't really desire corporate America. I kind of just felt stuck. I knew I didn't want to go back. So I stayed at home, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to teach some fitness classes more because I don't, have the 9-to-5 job. And that's what I did. I taught as many as I physically could after I got the okay to exercise again after baby. And I loved it. And then we moved. I got pregnant again. And I thought, you know what, after second baby, I'm going to keep adding on classes. But as you know, you can only teach so many classes. Your body just can't handle, more than maybe 6 probably a week I was doing. And so I began to look at other things, and I added personal trainer to my resume. So I studied and I got my personal training license, and I began to work at the same gym that I taught at. And I just probably worked about 6 hours as a trainer and probably 6 hours as an instructor, as little as I could, because I still would, had my kids at home with me. So I'd have to bring them to the gym every time, check them into the daycare. They would allow me 3 hours at a time. So 3 days I worked 3 hours at a time so that they could be in the daycare. So insert, me starting to stew on, what can I do next? I'm kind of always someone that likes to push a little bit and kind of add to my plate, but I also want to be very mindful of my family and our needs. And I wasn't willing to put my guys, into full-time daycare at that point. So the coach opportunity came to me kind of at the time when I was trying to explore what I wanted to do this next fall of 2014, when I started to get a little bit more time with them both in some preschool. And so that's when it just kind of dawned on me that, you know what, I don't need to spend all these hours at the gym. I can maybe peel back, not teaching so much and not kill my body. I can make more income working at home, helping people more than I can help at the gym. And so that's how I started, you guys. My big why was I would like to help more people than I can see at the gym. As a personal trainer, you see folks, that maybe have a lot of health issues, and they can only afford, because personal training is so expensive, right? They can maybe only afford to see you, once a week tops, maybe once every other week, because it's so expensive. And my heart just broke. I'm like, these people that need the most help, and they need a place to start, and maybe they have really big goals, they need to come more often, and it's so expensive. So the coaching opportunity was kind of a no-brainer for me. I really was intrigued. I can do this at home on my own time when it fits into my family schedule. I call it the mom cracks. The mom cracks of my day. If I had a nap time, that was my window. If I, got up a little earlier, that was my window. If they went to bed, that was my window to get some stuff done. So that really, really appealed to me. I didn't have the money to start my own fitness center, and put all that money down, and who wants to put all the time into that? And so I thought, gosh, I can start my own business. It's already in place. It has all the tools ready to go. And, I don't have to invest all those crazy dollars and all the time. So I was kind of rare in that I had never tried a Beachbody program or product before I became a coach. I trusted that, P90X, I heard about from so many people. I've heard about T25. PIO was just launched at the time, and I had, been seeing things on TV about that. I just knew. I thought, gosh, these programs have really transformed people, and I am really behind the science of clean eating. And heck, I want to learn about clean eating as well. And so that's how I started as a coach. I was a stay-at-home mom doing some fitness classes and some personal training and insert coaching. I fell in love with it from the very beginning, and I was so excited to share what I was doing. I started PIO. I was a runner. It really helped to tone and kind of elongate my running muscles. I changed my eating to clean eating. As a fitness person, I thought I ate healthy, and I wasn't. I needed to educate myself. So the programs really helped me. And that's where I'm going to show you my before and after. Slide 2. Me on the left was when I started. I already was the exercise 6 days a week gal. I did a lot of running. So my downfall was, the cross training, not really progressing in my workouts. You'd go to the gym, but you wouldn't really know what to do. I knew what I liked. I'm a cardio junkie. I needed to add some weights in. I needed to add in some body weight movements. And that's what I loved about the Beachbody programs. They give you a little bit of everything so that you're not focusing on one thing. And the clean eating, it really teaches you, whole, real, fresh foods are how your body's going to respond. So if you can see my before and after, it's been a work in progress. It's been a couple of years. And this I just took yesterday because I needed to update it. I've done these 5 programs on the left-hand side, each at least 2 times. The 22-minute hardcore, which is the one I'm doing right now. But I'm definitely a work in progress, you guys. I felt like I was sort of a fit person before. I just felt like I could always be better. I felt like I have a lot of muscle. I'm a strong gal, but I'm short. I'm 5'4". And I just always kind of held on to a layer of fat, and I didn't know how to get rid of it. So Beachbody has helped to transform me, and I'm actually less weight. Not that that's important. I wasn't really looking for weight loss, but I probably lost 12 pounds over the course of the 2 years, and just really kind of transformed my shape of my body, and really leaned out. I have a lot more strength in my arm muscles. My stomach has definitely lost inches, and at 40 I'm in better shape than I've ever been. I thought, gosh, my wedding, that was my best shape, but actually I'm a lot better than my wedding day. So that's my story. I'm gonna let Jess Kennedy talk now.
Thank you, Bridget, for sharing. I love listening to your story. It's really cool. Now, it's just neat for me to watch Bridget's Beachbody story because Bridget is on my team. She's one of my coaches. And I mean, I've seen it from the beginning. I've just seen her transform both in her physical shape, which she was already in amazing shape when she started, but just as a businesswoman and entrepreneur. So it's been really cool. So my story is completely different from Bridget's, which I think is one of the beautiful things about this business, guys, is that anybody can do it. It's not just a one size fits all. You don't have to be a fitness guru, and we'll kind of get into some of those thoughts about what you don't have to be a coach. But I really think that this business can fit into anybody's life and improve their life. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story, which is not like Bridget's, but it starts back. I've been a coach for almost 4 years now. So you can see my transformation here. I live in Madison, Wisconsin, and I have 3 kiddos, and I have a master's degree in English. So I was teaching high school and actually college English here in Madison for probably about 10 years when my journey began. And you can see up here at the top of my transformation is right when I started my journey. And I had my second baby at the time. She was about 8 months old, and I was teaching part-time at the college. And I was still wearing maternity clothes to work, because I couldn't fit into any of my pre-pregnancy clothes. Now, I had not had that issue with my first kiddo. Unlike Bridget, I did not particularly have a passion for fitness. I was always kind of an on again, off again fitness person. Like, I'd have a gym membership and I'd go, once or twice a week, maybe. I'd try running a couple times and didn't really stick with it. So I was never really an out of shape person, but I was never a super fit person. I just never really struggled with my weight. And then after my second kiddo, I thought I ate pretty healthy too, and I just could not kick this extra 15 pounds that was hanging on. But the worst part about it, other than just the physical weight, is when I look at those pictures at the top, I was so unhappy. Like, I was struggling with postpartum depression. I was teaching part-time and had a 2-year-old and a baby, and was just trying to juggle so much. And we were really financially stressed because teaching part-time doesn't, bring home a lot of money. But I didn't want to be back in the classroom full-time and put my kids in daycare. And I was just struggling. It was a really, really low point in my life. And a friend of mine reached out to me. And this is a girl that I was really close with and I had met in college. And I knew she was Beachbody coaching, but I'd always kind of tuned it out because I was like, I don't understand what this thing is that she's doing. And she has all these Facebook posts about her workouts, and it was kind of annoying. And so she'd invited me many, many times to her groups. And finally she reached out to me and was like, do Insanity with me. And I was like, oh, okay. I need to do something because I physically and mentally was just in a crappy place. And so I did Insanity. There I am, day 1. And the first day I threw up because I had never pushed my body that hard working out. And I wanted to quit. And I called Amanda and I was crying and I want to quit. She's like, you can't quit. And so I stuck with it. I did it for 60 days. Guys, it made me into an athlete. Like, I ate what she told me to eat. And I lost like 17 pounds at the end of the challenge. But more than anything, like, you can just see my face. Like, I was just so much more confident and so much happier. And I reached out for help with my postpartum blues. And I started running, which was really therapeutic for me. And since then I've ran a few half marathons and a marathon. But it totally changed. This experience totally changed my mindset with fitness and with how I fueled my body. And I connected to this amazing group of women in my challenge group. People started asking me what I was doing. And I was like, well, I did this Insanity program. And so I was like, well, I'm not making a whole lot of money as a part-time teacher. at all. And so I might as well show them what I'm doing. And, so I kind of dabbled in coaching and started to get a few challengers myself. And then I was introduced to just this amazing opportunity with helping people change their lives like my coach helped me change mine. And so fast forward 4 years, almost 4 years, it'll be 4 years this summer, I think, was when I finished this challenge. And I have now been able to quit my full-time and part-time teaching job. I've not gone back into education, and I loved being in the classroom, but this has provided me with an opportunity to be home with now all 3 of my kiddos. Now I have another kid, and we've paid off like $22,000 in credit card debt. We're closing on a new home at the end of the month. I mean, I cannot even begin to explain to you the financial, physical, emotional transformation that this opportunity has brought into my life, and all being able to do it from home with this amazing group of ladies, some men, but mostly women on my team, and just helping other people like my coach helped me. So I could just go on and on, but I feel really passionate about my journey, and it's just been incredible. So with that, we'll leave time to ask questions at the end, but with that, I will turn it to Jessica Vigeland.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I am the Jessica number 2. I am a 1-star diamond coach, and I'm a military mom and wife. I have 4 kiddos, and my story is again very different from Bridget and Jessica's. Most people think when they think about a health and fitness journey, they think it's all about losing weight. When in all actuality, mine is very much a gain health type of situation. I started my journey almost 4 years ago, September 2012. So yeah, almost 4, like Jess Kennedy. I was kind of at a really low point in my life. Being military, we had moved around a lot. And at that time, my youngest was a year old, and we had been in upstate New York. And prior to that, my husband had been deployed. And it was, if anybody knows upstate New York, there's a lot of snow, which was fine. I'm from Minnesota originally, but I didn't get out and meet a lot of people. So I felt extremely alone. So first and foremost, this coaching gig brought so many amazing women into my life, including, Jess Kennedy at the time, Bridget later, and I mean, so many more. My upline, Jess Kennedy and I have the same upline coach. So for a person that felt extremely alone, that was huge for me. I finally had this tribe of women that I knew they weren't in the same room or the same state or anything as me, but I knew that they were there for me. So, but rewind a little bit. But at the time I was feeling so overwhelmed, stressed out, mommy, typical, just, I knew there had to be something that I could do to feel better. And at the time, the only thing I could think of was at the end of the day, after I've dealt with my 4 kiddos, my big thing was I deserved a beer or 5 or 6, maybe even. And in all actuality, my kids deserved far more than that. And that wasn't how I wanted them to deal with things. So I actually reached out to my coach. I saw her on social media, which is a big part of this. And I actually reached out to her and I said, you must have, you have the best job. You must love your job. And of course, she messaged me back and she said, yeah, I really do. Get started on their health and fitness journey, gain knowledge of clean eating and, fitness and everything. And at the time, like Jess Kennedy, I couldn't run more than 2 minutes at 32 years old was really, can you guys hear me okay? It says my connection is unstable.
You were kind of fluttering, but it's okay.
Hopefully I'm still with you. So anyways, So when I started, I thought that, running was am I good?
You had a little pause there. I
Okay.
heard the running
You keep
part.
saying it's unstable. I'm like, stay stable. So yeah, kind of like me at the beginning of my journey. I was unstable. But anyways, I thought that cardio was the way to go. And little did I know that when I added some weight and I added some clean eating and, gained some lean muscle, that would be empowering to me. And I would realize that in fact was my ultimate goal. So, so I started out with Les Mills Pump and moved on to all of the programs that you see that I've completed. And it just worked for me. I didn't have the option to go to a gym. I had 4 little kids at home, and I think the nearest gym was, golly, I don't even know, like 30 minutes away. And my basement was fine, and my kids could join me. And I had these groups that I could check into, and I had the accountability that I needed, and it just worked. So, but that being said, I didn't become a coach immediately. I didn't think I could afford it. I didn't think I had time for it because I was so busy. And so I made time for my workouts. I tried Shakeology. I started eating better. And then I fell in love with it all and wanted to keep going. And at the time, we were on WIC. We drank a lot of juicy juice and ate a lot. The military wife was a definite perk, and it kind of reeled me in, and that's where I started. So that's, I guess, my story. My kids are now being, I showed them that, working out and eating well is far more important than drinking beer and feeling sorry for myself. So I think that's all. So where do we go next, Bridget? Who's up?
We're going to stick with you.
Okay.
So Jess is going to just talk a little bit, about how do we coach and what are these challenge groups that we all kind of just mentioned that I didn't start in one, but she's just going to touch a little bit about what challenge groups are.
Yes. So when we think about a coach, we automatically assume or think about somebody that, in the same room or, right there. And as Beachbody coaches, we have the luxury to coach you from afar. So you don't necessarily need to be, geographically connected. We do this a lot on social media and within challenge groups, and I'll get to more to that later. But we inspire and motivate and care. I mean, we truly care about the people that we're inviting to join us on this journey. The best way, like I said, is through social media, Instagram, whatever platform. We're always told as coaches we can kind of pick a platform, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, blogging, which I'm not good at. Jessica or Bridget, do you guys have blogs?
No.
Yeah. Well, anyways, but we're able to connect with so many people on different platforms. So many of us, in some way, we're sharing. We're already sharing like our fitness journey, in a sense, or we wanted to be. For me, it wasn't necessarily that. I didn't really even like working out, and I didn't know where to start. But a lot of us, we share our journey. We share recipes. We share, what else do we share? Routines. Maybe some moves of the day to give people ideas what kind of workouts you can do, because it keeps us accountable. That is, in a sense, how we coach. We stay accountable, and by sharing it with everybody else. So let's see. And that being said, I hear a lot of times, I can't be a coach because I'm not at my goal weight, or I'm, I don't eat that well, or there's a lot, but it really doesn't matter. People relate to other people that are sharing the same struggles and are on the same journey. So it doesn't matter. It's where you're at, as long as you're starting and as long as you're sharing. And inviting other people to join you, because that's what this is all about. The more people you have joining you on the journey, the more accountability partners and motivators and supporters you're going to have along the way as well. So as coaches, we have teamed up with Beachbody and all of these amazing programs. Jess Kennedy and Bridget Hammond, we all listed all of those programs, and it's all available at our fingertips. They all have, you know, a detailed workout guide, a calendar, so that's all you have to do is press play. It takes the guesswork out of what you're going to do that day. I know the very few times I've gone into a gym, I've stepped in there and thought, oh my gosh, this is really intimidating, and I don't know what to do. So this gives us the opportunity to just do what they've listed. We've got these, you know, these trainers that have designed this, and we just do what they say, and we get results. So not only that, but we have the programs, and I'm unstable again, guys. Am I okay? Good.
You're still good, yeah.
And the products and the support that Beachbody has to offer. So as a coach, go ahead. As a coach, we are a product of the product, and we have all of the tools and resources to put the fitness with the nutrition, with the support, and you get the success that you're looking for. So I know I have more, and I'm looking at my notes. Sorry. How much longer, Bridget? I haven't been watching the time.
You're okay. Maybe just any other bullets you can think about.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna just take you back to the challenge groups. So that's kind of the secret sauce of what we do as coaches. We invite people to join us into these groups. These are closed groups or secret groups. So, you know, if you do have challengers, or if we have challengers want to plaster it all over social media, they don't have to, because they're safe in this group where as coaches or the coach, a lot of times we team up together and run these challenge groups, and we can post daily tips and recipes and motivation. Our challengers have a chance to post those selfies, those, you know, sweaty selfies that they don't necessarily want to post on Facebook, but they can post them safely in the group, or they can vent about a bad day that they had, or we even as coaches can vent about a bad eating day that we had. Because guess what? It happens. We're not perfect. We're on this journey too. We're basically a challenger that has fallen in love with the programs and the products, and we're passionate about, you know, sharing them with others, and we're right along with our challengers in these groups, doing what they're doing, pressing play, drinking our Shakeology, and you know, just taking it day by day. So the challenge groups, most times, unless it's specified, there is an investment that is required. That's going to include your Shakeology, which is far more than just a protein shake, and it's going to include your program. So, but again, you get so much more, and it's, when I say more, it really is that accountability and the support from all of those like-minded people that are in that group with you. So, so this is what sets us apart. Like Bridget said about the gym, you know, she has so many people that she couldn't reach out to and help every single day, and this is what sets us apart, because in these groups, they can check in daily and share clean eating meal plans and ideas, and so and encouragement, and it just goes on. You know, some of them are 21 days and some are 8 weeks, and we stick together for the whole entire time. So I think that's good, guys. Anybody? I mean, we'll do questions at the end, right?
Yeah, we'll save them for
Okay.
then.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to hop into some of the myths. I just want to kind of throw in too and just tack on to what Jess just said. What's really neat, you guys, is all of the success stories that we get to see as coaches. It's the most rewarding thing to have people in your groups, because we all run a group once a month, and we'll walk those folks through their journey every single day for a month. And then they can repeat and they can come into the next group if they want to continue on. But what's so cool is to see the magic that happens because they have these programs that are laid out for them. They just said the workouts come with the schedule and they just plop in which one they're doing that day. The eating plan is really simple. It tells you, what's under the fruit category, what's under the veggies, what's under the carbs, how many a day you can have. We help give them recipes and that daily coaching. And it just adds up to success for them. So seeing all of these people that have, come back saying, oh my gosh, my cholesterol numbers are down. I don't need to be on medication anymore. Or I can fit into clothes that I haven't worn since, before I had kids. Or, these are the things that us coaches live for, is to hear the success of our challengers. So I just wanted to share that and how rewarding and fulfilling it is to help these people through their journey is awesome. So myth number one, you guys, is you have to be a salesperson to be a Beachbody coach. Big false. Personally, if I had to be a salesperson to do this, I wouldn't have done it. I'm definitely not a salesperson. If we are just people who love health, right? As we all have talked about, we're passionate about fitness, we're passionate about nutrition, and it's because we either, like the two Jesses, they started and they felt so amazing and they thought, gosh, I need to share this because I feel so great. And for me, it was just a way to help more people. And then I also felt extra great once I started. So we're doing it in our own lives. So really it's just sharing. We're just weaving it into what we do. And kind of letting people know, like, hey, we love these 30-minute workouts that we can do at home and save us all this time from the gym. And, hey, look at this fun recipe I made last night. It doesn't have any refined sugars or it's not processed. And people start to listen and watch. And that's all we do, is we offer support, suggestions, motivation. We learn as we become coaches to have conversations with people, to listen. It's really just about getting to know their struggles. It's not selling. It's not pushing. If it ever felt like that, then you're just going about it the wrong way. And you just kind of need to step back and just be true and be genuine. And just be the person that people can come to when they need help. Once they know that you're a coach and that you're motivating and you're inspiring, people will start to just come to you and the word gets out. So absolutely no selling, sharing, inspiring, and motivating is basically how I would describe it. Myth number two is you need to have a lot of time. Definitely false also. It's really about being focused with the time that you have. And each person that's a coach, their lives look very different. Some are nurses, some are teachers, some are stay-at-home moms with little kids at home, and nobody has more time. It's just how we choose to spend that time. So maybe somebody gets up and gets a little bit of work done early in the morning, or maybe somebody uses that nap time. Maybe somebody can't really do any work until later at night. So it's really not about how much time that you can commit to coaching, but just where you can fit it into your schedule, what that looks like for you. Some people put 30 minutes in, some people put an hour in, and maybe that hour is even in chunks of 15 minutes because they don't have 1 hour where they can sit down and be uninterrupted. So really, there's no cookie cutter is basically what I want to say. It's really just working into your schedule and being focused. And as leaders, we help train coaches on how to really maximize their time so that you're not wasting a lot of time and you kind of know what to do when you sit down to do your work. And a lot of it is just sharing. You're posting a little bit to social media. You're just being social. You're out talking to people about what you like, about whatever workout you're doing. And it's not all that you're going to talk about. So don't think that you need to be, just sharing about fitness and health. But, once in a while it's going to come up. And it's because you're just sharing in conversations that in your normal everyday. Myth number 3, you have to have a ton of inventory. And absolutely not true at all. You actually don't have to have any. Beachbody gives you your own website, which is awesome and very unique to many other companies. We get our own website, so folks can just order right from us, and we don't have to take care of any of the payment or sending them anything or having it. We just get our own little website. We send them our personal link so that it's connected to us, and Beachbody takes care of all of it, which is nice. If they ever have any shipping issues, they call Beachbody. So we don't have to take care of any of that. Of course, if we want to do a program, then that's the inventory that we would have. But most of us want to be the product of the product, and we want to be able to tell people that we talk to, which program we liked, which one we're currently doing. We all drink Shakeology because it's awesome, and it's not just a protein drink, as Jess had mentioned. It has 70 plus vitamins and minerals, and we all drink it because it helps us feel really good and helps with our clean eating. And so, of course, I have Shakeology, but I'm also sharing, what I love about it, and that's what makes it more real, is that we actually use the products, right? And it's really just our lifestyle. So no, you don't have to have any products sitting at your home. Myth number 4, this is probably one of my favorites. You are joining a pyramid scheme. If you're sitting here, that might actually be crossing your mind right now, but actually it's not. Pyramid schemes are illegal, and Team Beachbody was created under new federal guidelines for network marketing businesses. And as a leader, it's gotten an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. And if you think about it, you guys, a pyramid scheme, why they get such a bad rap is because they make it so that you're guaranteed a certain income by getting X amount of people in. So say, get 10 people to join, you're guaranteed $15,000. That's just my little scenario. So Beachbody does not do that. Otherwise, none of us would be here. It's actually set up pretty awesome that if you work really hard and you're consistent, this business is going to continue to grow for you. You're your own CEO. You can do whatever you want with this. There's no top layer. If you obviously have a mentor that, kind of brings you in, but you could do extremely well and maybe that person doesn't really do anything. So there's really no levels. It is what you want it to be. The sky's the limit. That's what I love about it, is you determine your own success. Really, there's no incentive to enroll people. You don't have to hit sales numbers. You don't have to have X amount of, sales per month. It can be lucrative if you're willing to do the work. So that is myth 4. Number 5 is that, you get set up as a coach and then you're kind of in it alone. And as all of us have talked about already, is you have this awesome support network of people that are here for you to answer questions. You have a team to check in with, a private Facebook page. You have trainings. You can go to live quarterly events in your state to meet folks in person and do live workouts and connect. You can, earn free trips if you want. There's so many options and ways to connect with folks. And I would say this is probably one of the biggest reasons why people love coaching, is that awesome support that we get with like-minded people. We're all here, for different reasons. We all have different whys on why we started, but we really just are passionate about health and fitness. And no, we don't eat clean every single moment, and we like pizza and wine, but we're passionate and we want to help people. So no, you're not in it alone. And my last one that Jess actually kind of talked about already is that you have to be fit. And that's absolutely false. You know, we all start at a different place. We're all on our own journeys here. So no, you do not have to be fit. And what's more welcoming for someone to join you if you're on your journey too? You know, it's going to be scary if you're perfect body and you never mess up, and people are going to be scared to join you because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, she's too extreme and I don't think I can do that. So we're just real people, and we show people that we slip up and we fall off and we get back on. So those are my myths. And now we're going to let Jess share about how we actually earn money as coaches.
Thank you, Bridget. I'll talk about how coaches earn money, which is a big question that a lot of people have, and it's always a little uncomfortable for people to ask or talk about. I think because a lot of us think, like, when we first start hearing about it, that it's some sort of creepy pyramid scheme, like Bridget talked about. And so keep in mind, I have a master's degree in English, not math. So I'm going to do my best to describe this, but it's pretty straightforward. There's a few different ways you earn money as a coach. And first of all, I would truly do this job for free because I love it that much. But it can be, you can make a really good income with this job. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but if you're willing to put in the effort and be patient, you can definitely build an amazing business for yourself. So the first way that makes the most sense to people is that we make 25% commission on the sales of all our programs in Shakeology. And I guess there's also other supplements we have besides Shakeology, and as well as like apparel and some we have some skincare lines and some workout equipment. So it's not just programs in Shakeology, but I would say the majority of us make our money from the programs in Shakeology sales. So it's 25% commission. You're also getting a 25% discount. I should point out, Bridget, my slide. There we go. So anytime someone makes a purchase through you as a coach, you make 25% commission on that sale. Makes sense, right? Yes or yes. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. So that's a portion of what you make. We get paid every week as Beachbody coaches. So a portion of it's just based on direct sales, rather than Beachbody selling Pio on the shelf at Walmart. They sell it through us, so we get a cut of Beachbody's profit. Okay, make sense? The next way that you make money, other than that initial sale that you make, is you heard Jessica Vigeland talk about challenge groups, and you are going to have someone purchase initially their program paired with Shakeology most of the time, and you're going to make that 25% commission when they join your challenge group. Well, some people, your goal ultimately is to help somebody, right? And if they see results and they fall in love with the products and they want to keep working with you, then they're going to keep investing in themselves and they're going to keep drinking their shake every month. And so eventually you're going to build some residual income that comes in every single month because you have regulars, okay? Regular customers who are purchasing every single month a product from you. All right. So I do have people who have asked, how can you make money as a coach? Because once you sell someone a DVD, that's it, and they don't need another DVD. Wrong. Beachbody's always coming out with new programs, and you do have those regular Shakeology drinkers. So there's always avenues to get that regular income each and every month by your regular clients or customers, right? So this is that's the part that makes the most amount of sense to people. Then the part that gets people thinking pyramid scheme, that they're confused about or have questions about, and it is overwhelming, is as you build a team of coaches. So it is set up where you have two legs underneath you, okay? Not quite a pyramid, but two legs of coaches. And so if you start adding coaches to your team, you're going to start filling up these legs on the left and the right side, right? In this big family tree, I will call it. And as you build your team of coaches and the teams of coaches underneath you sell product You don't make a percentage of their commissions, but what you do make is bonuses off the volume that they sell. So if you have a super productive team, you're going to make bonuses off of that volume. And to be more specific, anybody who's math-minded, you have a strong and a weak leg, and when one leg has 200 in product volume, so that'd be like 2 Shakeologies, and the other leg has 100 in product volume, you get a bonus, okay? So that can add up if you have a really large team over and over and over and over and over again in the course of a day. If you have a small team or no team, because you don't want to build a team, that's completely fine. We have coaches on our team who they just want to enjoy their discount on Shakeology, or they just want to make a little bit of commission here or there, a little extra grocery money, some extra fun money, or maybe they just want to pay for their own Shakeology, and that's their goal each and every month. And that's fine. So you really could just do the bare minimum and enjoy your discount, or you could build a whole team of coaches and start making bonuses off of their volume, the volume of product that they sell through their business centers. Following kind of? Okay. And then as you rank advance, which basically means as you get more coaches on your team, you become eligible for quarterly cash bonuses from the company. And what that basically is profit sharing. That the company is every quarter, so 4 times a year, they're thanking you for helping them sell their products and helping them carry on their mission by helping other people get healthier. So rather than, again, selling their products on the shelf of Walmart, they're selling them through us because we're creating an amazing network of people who love the products, and we're actually helping people get the results. So after you move up in the business, you get quarterly cash bonuses. And I think right now where I'm at as a 2-star diamond, mine's usually about $800 a quarter. Just money that they give you, like, thanks, here's a portion of what the company made this quarter. And as you move up, those become larger. So as you can see, it could be just a little bit of grocery money here or there, get your shakes for free, or you could build, a large 6-figure business. It just kind of depends on the effort you put in and the amount of time that you put in over time, and how well you learn the business as a business. So hopefully that kind of describes how we make money as coaches. It's really not a mystery. And as you join our team, we'll help you figure it out. Okay? So that is what I have to say about how we earn money as coaches, and we'll definitely be opening it up for questions here in a minute if you have some.
I'm going to add too, I think one good analogy to think about how Jess just explained, your team of coaches and you making, eventually bonuses off your team volume. How I was kind of thinking about it today is, so you're your own CEO, it's your business, you're starting it, right? Your own fitness business. And as you get busier, you're going to want folks to help you and, run more challenge groups because you're seeing like, gosh, I can't help everyone. I only know so many people. So there's got to be other people that, are passionate too, right? So then they're going to join your team. And that's really you hiring employees who are going to spread the word, and it's like your product. It's like saying it's your fitness product, even though it's Beachbody's. But as you get more employees, you're going to see more sales volume because you got all these other people going out there helping people. So if that makes sense, you're the CEO in this situation, and you're going to start to see the rewards of just getting more employees on your team to spread health as much as possible. So I don't know if that helps. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to try to get back so I can see all your faces.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm just plugging my computer in.
No problem. Questions, yes.
This is Monica. And on your slide, I think it was a little different than what you talked about, but you said that it said, I don't want to drink Shakeology, so I might not be successful. That was one of the myths. Can you talk to that?
I don't want to drink Shakeology. Say that again. So
it said on the screen, I don't want to drink Shakeology, therefore I probably couldn't be successful. Can you speak to that myth?
Yeah, I would say there are other ways to be successful. I mean, honestly, a big part of what we do has Shakeology with programs to help people really successful. So if you're not drinking it, it's really hard to speak personally to, you know, what you like and what flavor, and to really kind of give that being the product of the product. But I know some people maybe they have an aversion or they can't, and so maybe they want to do the performance line, and they're going to do the post workout, and that's going to be their thing, and they can still promote Shakeology and talk about it, and use it part of their challenge groups, but it maybe not be the route that they're going to go. Does that make sense? Would you guys add anything to that?
I can personally say I actually had a coach. She's been a coach for 2 years, and she's been fairly successful, and she was completely against drinking Shakeology. And I mean, she did well, but I will say that eventually, and now she's been drinking it for 2 weeks, and she absolutely loves it. So, but it didn't keep her from promoting it. It didn't, she used success stories from her fellow coaches, from her challengers that loved Shakeology, and it worked. So yes, you could use Energize, your pre-workout and your post-workout to remain, we have to remain active as coaches, it's called. It's kind of, we won't get into it too much, but, drinking Shakeology monthly helps you maintain that, but there's other ways. So does that help?
I'll say when I first started coaching, I did not drink Shakeology regularly. I drank it for my 60 days of my challenge. And then I did not drink it regularly because I didn't think I could afford it. And then as soon as I realized that I missed it and that I believed in it, and that if I was asking my challengers to invest in it, I should be investing in it. And then I figured out, like, if I work my business this much, I can make enough to pay for my Shakeology. And then obviously I haven't stopped drinking it since. But I will say that it's not unusual to have coaches start the business not 100% convinced that they really want to drink Shakeology. But they usually come around, especially when they figure out they can get it for free if they just help a couple people a month. So.
And that was my thing. I had never tried it before, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to get into a shake and then have to rely on it and pay all this money. But I was trying to keep an open mind, and I tried it and I loved it. And then I started to see and feel the difference of just what my body was responding to from getting all of those extra nutrients, and that it was clean and it wasn't filled with any, crazy ingredients or artificial sweeteners. And I just made a plan. I said, you know what? I'm going to pay this off every month, and I'm going to make more on top of it. So I just wrote down what that looked like, and I have never once not hit that. So I think if you really want to be in the plus, some people are like, oh, I don't know if I, can do this. And I, if I drink Shakeology, then that means I'm, taking away from some of my income. But if you have it in your plan and say, I'm going to pay this, and then I'm going to earn some, just have that mentality, and you will. You'll do it. And like Jess said, as your business continues to grow, you will continue to gain and gain and gain on top of that, and it won't even be an issue. Maybe there'll be a couple of months, and I just told my husband, if I don't pay this off by X date, I'll look at, maybe not doing this. But it made me work harder because I wanted to pay that off.
Thank
so
you.
Goals are good.
Sorry.
I just personally like it. I'm just saying, if you're recruiting another coach and you wanted to, and if they had an objection, how would you respond to that?
Yeah. It depends on what the objection is. You'd have to kind of to see. I always encourage they try, and just, if they're already doing something else, we just kind of talk about like ingredients in Shakeology, or the benefits of actually using it to then be able to talk to folks, because they'll ask you so many questions about it. It's just nice to be able to speak to it personally.
Other questions, guys? Pick our brain. You can ask us anything.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
This is in regards to, you said, okay, they're not selling it at Walmart, but they are selling it online. Do they people get the same price online versus buying it through a coach?
That's a really good question. Okay, so when they sell, there's a couple different ways it's being sold online, right? So if it's being sold online through beachbody.com, right? So like if you see an infomercial for 21-day fix or whatnot, and you call the number, it's going to beachbody.com. And what happens with those sales is that they get filtered to us as coaches. So once you're an Emerald coach, which means you have 2 coaches on your team, you start getting leads from the company. You start getting free customer leads, and the company starts filtering out coaches. You get more filtering out customers to coaches based on their success. So if you're doing really well, and you start getting more leads from the company. So basically, they all go to somebody, and those become your customers for life, which is really, really cool. It's a cool incentive from the company to get this, these people and this random commissions, random connections. It's neat. So that's one way. So eventually those people are getting connected to a coach. So those coaches could be you. And then the other way that people are selling things online is like through Amazon or eBay, Craigslist, etc. And that, you're going to run into issues with people who would rather buy the program from Amazon because it's cheaper. But what they don't get is a coach. So what happens a lot of times, Amazon doesn't care if you open the box, if it sits there on the shelf, So if you buy it from Craigslist and it's used from your neighbor down the street or whatever, again, nobody's there to help you make sense of the program, help you with your nutrition. So what happens 9 times out of 10, unless someone's really, really self-disciplined, they don't start it, they don't finish it, they don't go anywhere with it. And so that's what I always tell people who are like, well, I don't know, I could get it off Amazon for a little bit cheaper. Well, you're not going to get your free coach with it, and I think that it's worth the investment. So there are a couple ways you could buy things online, and we definitely run into that all the time. So I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's about the same cost, but you get much less.
Mm-hmm.
You also don't get that replacement guarantee. I've had a lot of people, my disc doesn't work. Well, where'd you buy it? If they bought it from, through me as a coach, Beachbody's going to replace that. Amazon may not. So.
Yeah. Great question.
Yeah. What else do you got? Nothing?
Questions? You're all good? Okay.
Well, we've
you can, ask
an hour. Yeah. You can ask anything, but you can also just follow up with the coach who invited you and ask questions, or Facebook one of us, and ask us too. So don't be shy if something pops in your head in a little bit that you're dying to know the answer to.
Yeah.
And we have this recorded, so we can, if you want to listen again or you want to share it with anyone.
Yeah, for sure. We really appreciate you guys taking time out of your night. I know how busy everybody is, but we appreciate it so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Look forward to hopefully seeing some of you soon.
Yes.
All right. Well, have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.